Yes.
one says stand over there so
Yes,
everybody can see
so
you.
everybody can see me, huh? Okay, hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. And I just I'm going to introduce two very wonderful people. They are going to demo something about the Kangen water. I don't want to say anything because they are very professional. I don't want to say even a word. Mr. Bob and Dr. Dave, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having us. Thank you for putting all this together.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay.
So are most of the people here friends of yours or from the radio show? So explain, who's all the friends in the room today?
Who's my friend? Raise your hand if you are my friend. I mean.
Okay, friends. Okay. And then some people are Dr. Dave's friends.
My friends, raise your hand. Hello?
See, your friend and my friend, Dr. Dave, they raised their hands for you.
Just want to get an idea who is everybody else. Sorry I wasn't able to be here earlier to enjoy the food and beautiful company as I see and get to know everybody by name, but you know, we can do that another time or later, who's ever sticking around after we're done here, okay? Fair enough? And so, who wants to start? I'll start. Okay, so I guess why you're invited here today, and most people that are here today, are they looking at, are they interested in their physical health, financial health, or both?
Both.
Both. Am I getting that from mostly everybody? Physical health, financial health, both. That's both hands go up in the air. Okay.
That's good.
Okay, very good. I just want to make sure I'm speaking to the right people, okay? Or I tailor it to, you know, how I'm going to speak based on if someone's interested in physical health, financial health, or both. So I'll just tell you my brief story. Because I didn't get to sit in a beautiful home like this 11 years ago and watch my first presentation. So a friend of mine called me up over the phone that I'd known for 20 years, and she asked me if I ever heard anything about this company out of Japan called eMagic. I didn't think she pronounced it right. I think she said eMagic or something. And about this technology they make, and it makes all this different kinds of waters, and I didn't know what she was talking about. And she piqued my curiosity enough to get me to come down and take a look. And it was at eMagic's first office that they had opened in, where was that? In Gardena. So it was not the big office they have today, and offices all over the world in 38 countries, and growing this global giant that's spreading the message of true health. But it was a small office over there, and I was jammed in a room with about 40 people, and I was sitting in the very back of the room. And I watched this amazing presentation, and I saw just what you're about to see today. I didn't know anything about acid, alkaline. The only thing I knew was about, if I heard alkaline, I was thinking of the TV commercials for batteries. That's about all I knew about acid, alkaline 11 years ago. And so when I saw this demonstration, though, what I did leave with, it was a lot of information. And so we won't bombard you with all the information I heard in my first presentation, because most of it went in one ear and out the other. But I did remember the visual of that demonstration, what I saw, and I could no longer go back to drinking the things I was drinking, like different types of bottled waters, after I saw that presentation. And I invested in, where's the machine? Where do you guys have a machine? Is it right this thing?
Right here.
Okay, so we have one sitting there, and you have a K8 in the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay, so you're serving everybody, of course, Kangen water, right? And so I invested in that technology 11 years ago just as a consumer. And there's probably a number of people in the room I know that have invested in technology and consumer like I was 11 years ago. But I started drinking the water and noticed more energy. So who can give me a show of hands, just so I know, who started drinking the water and noticed more energy like me? Okay, Leota, his wife. I remember meeting you at the house there one day. Nice to see you. Okay, so we have a few people notice more energy like me. How about sleeping better? now you're sleeping better like me. Okay, look at the hands in the room. I just want you to know it's just not me, okay? How about I lost 10 pounds in 4 weeks without changing my diet? Anybody lose weight?
Oh yeah, 100 pounds in 8 years.
100, seriously, you
Yeah,
lost 100 pounds. Incredible, give him a hand. I met a few people who have lost over 100 pounds since we got started 11 years ago. Now, did you just change the water, or did the water help you to start changing other things in your life?
Yeah, the water did it all. I didn't change anything else. I ate the same. I exercised the same. So
Incredible. Okay, amazing. And who thinks weight loss is a big business? Multi-billion-dollar business, right? Here we got someone who doesn't have to go on any crazy yo-yo diets and eat this, eat that, can't eat this, can't eat that. What's the first thing you hear when you hear diet? Die, right? People think they're gonna die. That's why those crazy yo-yo diets don't work, right? And so that's my company slogan: change your water, change your life. And so that was one for me, weight loss. I was just a little weight, 10 pounds, not much, right? But just about every woman I think we know will tell you they need to lose at least 10 pounds, even if they don't need to lose weight, right?
Except one,
Except what? And then last for me, I don't know about everyone here, maybe someone experienced like me. I was 49 years young at the time I bought that machine. But I was starting to experience some knee problems, swelling in my knees, and when I'd run or work out, I'd have to take a break, and I'm popping Advil until the swelling goes down. And after I started drinking the water, just a few weeks, I never had a problem with my knee. In 11 years, I haven't had a problem with my knee. See, it's been so long, I forgot if it was my left knee or my right knee. If you see me limp tonight a little bit, my right knee is killing me because I was playing with the kids in the pool and slammed my knee into a cement wall. But I can't remember which knee I had the problem with before, 11 years ago. And so anybody experience any joint relief like me? Okay, so a few people, Corey, David. I know he has some joint relief. I'll tell his story in a second. So, even though I was just a consumer, 49 years old, I was drinking all different kinds of water for 49 years, right? I never noticed any of those 4 things from any type of water I drank for 49 years. So what do you think I did with my friends and family?
turned them on to the world.
Of course, what do we do when something good happens to us?
Talk.
Naturally, we're going to share with the people we care about, right? And so I started sharing with the people I care about, my closest friends and family. Was not thinking about doing this as a business, but because so many people started getting results like me, and even far more results than I experienced, because I didn't have any type of major health challenges, that this thing just started to grow and grow and grow, and it turned into an amazing business. From my one little machine, it spread to tens of thousands of people, and now we have a team of people spreading around the world that's, I don't know, it's growing by like 1,500 sales per month, which equates to approximately $3 million a month in business that our team is bringing into Enagic. So it's been amazing. When we say true health, we're thinking about physical health, financial health, which brings you kind of mental health, because peace of mind, if you don't have to stress about this or that, or where the money is coming from. Now, whether we work or not, all that money keeps flowing and keeps growing. So I couldn't think of a better retirement account that I could have invested in 11 years ago than that. I certainly couldn't have put it in the bank or anywhere else. I've tried investing in a lot of things and have lost a lot of money. That, I just leave my money in Enagic because it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So that's kind of my quick story. And I'll let Dr. Dave share his quick story.
Yep, but Bob was in town for a
Thank you.
short time, and Bob had about 3 weeks off from his job in, where were you working? In Texas, right? He was working in Texas.
All over the country.
And all over the country in the worst conditions, working in hangars, right? Airplane hangars?
Military hangars, you name it, I was in.
Anyway, in hangars in the summer were about 120 degrees or more, right? And
It was bad.
he came to visit me, he was on vacation, he said, hey, I found this machine, and you know, right away I said, you know, let's go check it out, and I got a machine, and what I did was I really didn't use the machine. I got it basically from my parents, and because my dad was suffering with gout, my mother had a lot of arthritis, and my parents were suffering to the point where, you know, they really didn't want to move around too much, they just wanted to watch TV, and then that made it worse because they would gain weight. So I gave it to my parents, and they wouldn't drink it, you know, they were saying, you know, we've been drinking soda, we were, you know, we're older, let us live our lives the way we want to live. And I would just beg them. Until finally got to the point where my mother would start drinking it, and my mother started losing weight, and her migraine headaches went away, and her knees, the swelling went down. So she was all of a sudden running around, going back to Costco, doing errands, and now my dad is laying in bed. He goes, I want to do this too, you know. And I finally told my dad, if you don't drink the water, I'm going to pour it on your head, you know, because look at mom, she's drinking the water and she's like all over the place. So finally, my father drank the water, and he had things like gout, which is kind of a form of arthritis, and high blood pressure and high cholesterol, which diminished and got better and better. And from there, I got another machine for myself because I gave my machine to my parents. And they would tell their friends, and it just spread, and all their friends had problems. And then Bob and I said, you know, this is something the world should know about. So we went on kind of like a road show where we would take this machine to anybody we knew, and if they didn't want to come, we'd buy them a pizza, we'd buy them food, we'd bribe them, we did anything we can to bring this machine to their house, because they wouldn't come to our house. You know, a lot of people don't want to see something, they don't want to hear about stuff. So we made it fun, you know, because when I do the demonstration, I spill everything, you know, and it falls on the floor. So it really became we had a great time. We just went to people's houses and did what we're doing now. And before about 2 years, I'd say Bob and I built up, you know, thousands and thousands of people using this, and it was amazing. So let's get on with the show.
Congratulations. Good David. And so, like I said, I introduced it to my clothes. If something, to me, this was after I experienced it, to me this was the best thing I had ever experienced in my life that had come out where people could take charge of something on their own for their own health. And so I started, of course, closest friends and family first, because the people you care about most, right? And it just started to spread from there to their friends and family, and we just kept growing and growing and growing and growing to what it is today. So let's, Sheree, since the batteries, we don't have a remote, I'm going to ask you to be my remote.
Yes, yes.
Give Sheree a hand for being the remote this evening.
I'm gonna do my best.
I don't like we got these poles here. We're going to walk out here so we can see everybody. And so I have to update these a little bit. How about if I stand up here until we go over to the actual demo. Some of these I'm probably going to go through. That's my little print. So this is my biggest dream come true in eMagic. It actually wasn't money. It was, I guess, financial freedom allowed me to be able to meet my soulmate, my beautiful wife, Jenny, and then to start having a family. And if it weren't for eMagic, that would have never happened. So that's my biggest dream come true, is my family, and I got to update that because she's now 4, and I have a little son who's 2, Isabella and Armani. Next slide. So they travel the world with us. They're always with us. We work from home. And if we don't work from home, we're out somewhere. Actually, they would have been here tonight with me, but we had a long day today, and they decided to stay home as I came here. But I believe it's an opportunity of a lifetime, eMagic, this company, in the technology it manufactures, to share with everyone the idea of true health, like I said before, physical health, financial health, which brings you mental health or peace of mind. And that's the philosophy of the founder of this company, who is now 77?
77.
77 years
Young.
young. Yeah, not, he'll say he's not 77 years old. He'll be 78 this coming March when we go to Okinawa, where one of the places he lives, between Okinawa, Japan, and here. And so he'll be 78 years old, and he looks amazing. I swear, so I've known him for 11 years, right? Going on 12 years this coming year. And every time I look at him, you would think, so 77, we met him when he's what, 67, 66. Usually when you think of someone in their 60s, that's maybe when you start seeing more age-related changes, right? To 70s, getting close to 80. I swear he doesn't seem to change.
He's younger.
Does he, to you? Who here would agree with me that knows Mr. Oshiro? Doesn't seem to change like he would.
He sings, he plays,
Oh, yes.
he travels.
I think he'll just keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
Anyways, next slide. I
Okay.
might have you go through some of these kind of quick. So, some of these things we'll cover today, you know, how helping others, people can actually pay you. Like when we first started, we didn't think about making money. All we thought about was the results, the water we were seeing, and just helping as many people as we could. And the more people we helped, guess what happened? The more money came. And so the more people we kept helping, we focused on helping people, the more money showed up. And so, you know, what better thing you could do is help people and earn a living at the same time. And so, I don't know if anyone's ever asked this question. We kind of went through my other slide fast, but I want to speed this up anyways.
It did it magically. I don't know how it happened.
Did it magically?
Just magically.
Okay, so there's my little princess again. If someone, I don't know if someone's asked you this, but if you had enough time and money, what would you do? You know, how would your life be different? And usually some people have a lot of money, right? But they don't have what? Time. Time to enjoy it or do the things they really want to do in life. And then some people have a lot of time, but not the money that goes along with that time to be able to go do the things you want to do and enjoy life and spend with the people you care about. So if you had both of those, which is what we need to do the things we really want to do in life, how would your life be different? And that's just for all of you to, you know, think about. You know, would you live in the same house? You can change it. Go ahead.
Change it. Okay.
You know, would you live in the same house? Would you drive the same car? Many of you might say yes. That's for each and every one of you. You know, but more people, almost everybody I talk to would say they would love to travel more and enjoy spending more time on vacations and seeing the world, you know, with the people they care
And
about.
time to spend with your family, I think, was the #1 thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then be able to help friends and family whenever you want to. Take them on vacation. We were just in Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, an island in the Philippines, and then a little island in Korea, Jeju Island, South Korea. And we had, this was our biggest trip ever, with 12 family members. That was like an entourage going around. So then, you know, you want to ask yourself, can you do the things you want to do in life with what you're doing now? And if you can't, then maybe you need to look for what I call, I think this is a funny slide, I think my wife had done this about you. You need to look for another vehicle. So I did that because that was Dr. Dave's, I'm just joking when I say a vehicle of a car, but that was his purple Porsche, we call it the Kangen Porsche, that he bought. And I think did you sell that already or traded it out? He's getting a different color
It's
one.
in Laguna, and different one.
He's I call it the exotic car connoisseur. And so, go ahead, next slide. So I believe eNAGIC could be the answer for many of you like it has been for us and thousands of other people around the world. We're now over a 40-year-old company, originally equipment manufacturer. That means eNAGIC handles every aspect of the manufacturing of that technology, even the packaging that it comes in. We have over 1 million people now that have that machine in their home, and spreading, I believe, will spread to the next 1 million in just a few short years, unlike the last number of years because of social media. So, you I know you understand social media. How many followers do you have?
Almost a million, right?
About a
1,500,000 on Facebook.
1,500,000
Wow.
people.
Yeah,
Right.
and 941 people on Instagram.
Almost 1 million people on Instagram. So why I say we're going to grow to the next million and 2 million, 3 million people much faster is because most of this business was built through word of mouth, face to face. But now with, you know, today when we first got started, it was mostly guys like us, baby boomers, getting into business, right? Those of you maybe baby boomers. So there's a lot of baby boomers in Enagic. But today, when I look around at some of the meetings that are going on, I see all the millennials getting involved in Enagic that are in their 20s. And these are the social media experts. And these guys are spreading the message of true health, you know, just like you have the opportunity to do by posting things, and it's reaching millions of people all at once instead of us, you know, 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 20 at a time. And so we're going to learn the social media. We're learning that game now so we can speed up the process and help everybody. We're the gold industry leader in our industry. Offices all over the world. I can't even keep track anymore. The last 2 I think opened were Russia and Dubai. And it's hard to keep track of all the offices, companies opening. Next. I want to get to the good part where, you know, what they really want to see is the actual product demonstration. We'll just do a few things leading up to that and we'll be with that.
It's not working.
It's not working. We may be going to the product demonstration right now.
Okay.
Okay, so we could, you know, DSA, remember DSA, Better Business Bureau, direct selling. I won't talk about all Enagic's awards and recognitions, but there's like ISO certifications for the quality of manufacturing Enagic does in Japan for manufacturing medical grade equipment. You can actually go to enagic.com to read all about the different certifications. I'm trying to shorten this up a little bit tonight. So next. So this is what we do, change the way people live by advocating true health, which I explained to you what that is. Next. So you kind of get a little glimpse of Mr. Oshiro. I'm not sure when we took this picture.
2 years ago?
Where was it?
2 years ago.
Oh, I don't know. It was a few years ago. But I see him today, and he looks the same if I were to take a picture today. I don't really see any changes in him or his wife, and Mr. Hironari Oshiro. So that's what he usually talks about, that true health. We won't talk a lot about, so Mr. Oshiro started another aspect of our business. It's called Kangen Foods in Okinawa. And so he's all about giving back to the community, giving back to, you know, the people where he grew up. And I highly recommend anybody read his book that was just out, you know, telling the story of his life and how he grew up going through, you know, World War II and the things they had to go through in Okinawa and how many of his siblings didn't make it. But it's an amazing story of his struggle through life to where he's at today. So he always believes in giving back to Okinawa and the community. So a number of years ago, I don't know if the farmers were struggling, I think it was in Okinawa, so he said, I'm going to create another aspect of our business that has to do with health and wellness, and I'm going to have all the farmers grow organic turmeric, because he was starting to do research of the amazing benefits of curcumin, the main ingredient in turmeric. And so now we have an amazing product called, you know, our Kangen Ukon, and you guys can go to Green Med, what it showed on there. And then we have the amazing, you know, technology, which is the core of our business, which is the water ionizers, which we're going to show you in a second here. Go to next. And I guess we're sticking a little bit. So that's our core products right there, as you'll see spinning around. So we have a number of different ionizers. Are actually called a continuous electrolysis water generators. That was like a tongue twister the first time I was trying to say that one. And so we have, you know, from under the counter units to top of the counter units and a few different units in between, which, you know, whoever you're talking to about, you know, when you decide to get which unit's best for you, you know, they'll explain the difference in the units. most of it's the size of the engine of the machine, which is called the electrolysis chamber, okay? So in Japan, that's certified as a medical device in Japan. In America, it is not, thank goodness. But it's medical grade equipment. That's how it's manufactured. That's what a point I want to get across to everybody. Next, what do you think about, David, when you here's from Dr. Dave Lessman. What do you think about when you hear medical device?
Well, you know, it's made to a completely different standard. You know, it's made to last a long time. You know, it's very expensive. So when we looked at what our machine would actually cost, if we were to make it one by one, I think they had come to like something like $20,000. So the machine, because of Mr. Oshiro and the way he ran the factory, is probably just a fourth of what it would be if it was made here in the United States.
Right, and each machine is hand built by one technician. Just like I was watching a show with cars. I think it was
like the Ferrari engines.
The Ferrari engines, some of the exotic cars right there. I was watching how each technician is hand building that, putting all the parts together, not on a production line like, you know, a lot of cheap.
And they have to sign their name on it. Everybody's responsible, so that if anything happens to a machine, they can go back to the person that built it. So there's so much, it's really well
a lot
made.
of you know, testing done before a machine actually leaves the factory.
Yeah, that's why they all have water in them too.
Exactly, they have a little bit of water in them as they test them. So we can hundreds of hospitals in Japan, spreading around the world, thousands of, I think there's something like 30,000 restaurants in Japan that are using this technology for, you know, sterilizing, cleaning their foods, and it's growing rapidly in US also. We were just we just had our 15-year anniversary on the Queen Mary, who was there, and a few of us were there. And then afterwards, one day we went to La Opera. Anybody hear of La Opera? Great Italian restaurant in Long Beach. It's, yeah, I think on the wall it'll say top 7 or top 10 Italian restaurants, not in Los Angeles, in all of California. And they have one of our Super 501s in the kitchen. You can see through the glass kitchen. And they have these special glass bottles they had made that says, "We proudly serve Kangen water," as their water besides the other option of some mineral water. Next. Nope. Technical difficulty again. Okay, well, I'm glad we're here because we get to go over there and start the, you know, the fun part, you know, the visual part you want to see. So that's our K8. There's one, that's our latest and greatest machine, the one that's the digital, everything's like your iPhone in the machine now. It's very easy to operate. It's easy to follow instructions to do some of the self-cleaning things that you have to do with the machine. And the best feature I like about it is, because we travel around the world, so we never leave home without a machine. And so we take the K8 with us, and it has it's designed so that you can use it in any country. You just have to change the plug. So you don't, before I used to have to carry one of those, you know, big bulky converters to convert from 110 to 220. So this machine, you don't need any of that. You can plug it in any country. I just had it in 4 different countries. So I was pretty amazed 11 years ago when I saw this, that with a touch of a button, you can change ordinary tap water into all these different kinds of water. A strong acidic water, which is hypochloric acid water, which smells like bleach, will kill bacteria. Beauty water, good for the skin. Clean water is just filtered water. Then we have the 3 levels of Kangen water for drinking, 8.5, 9 pH, and 9.5. And then we have one that you don't see, which will be in the slides. It's from 2.5 and 11.5. It's a super strong alkaline ionized water that you can use, as you'll see in the demonstration, for cleaning your foods. Okay, so we're going to do that for you today too. So let me see, next slide, maybe we have a pH chart. I know we're going to go over there in a second. We can use that as a pH chart, but I think we have another pH chart. So we're going to show you 3 visuals like I saw 11 years ago, because water looks like what? Water looks like water. It all looks the same, right? Whether it comes in a bottle, whether you pour it out of the faucet. But we're going to show you a visual so you can see. and transform ordinary tap water into water that has unique properties. And so, Dr. Dave, I'm gonna let Dr. Dave go ahead. There's 3 things here I'm gonna let David talk about real quick.
Yeah, so basically oxidation, you know, as everybody knows, when you have anything that you leave outside, for example, anything that's metal that you leave, or a boat or anything, oxidation is when air and water gets to it, you have the rusting process. So for example, if you wash fruit or vegetables in our water, or you spray your skin, it's not going to oxidize as fast. So basically you look younger, your fruits and vegetables will last longer. They use it in restaurants for this purpose, and it's probably the top thing that kills people in the world, oxidative stress. Next.
We're talking about dehydration stress,
acidic stress, basically, the worst things, as people know now, for children are sodas. You know, kids, when we grew up, we were born, and as Bob knows, he was a root beer freak, and, you know, I used to love soda, and your parents would buy soda for you. And nowadays, parents are getting smarter. They're not buying soda, but they're buying sports drinks, and they're just as bad as soda. You know, so when you look at any of the sport drinks, we've tested every drink in every country. I think, remember one day we had 200 different drinks on the table, and every drink was acidic. And so you want to stay away from acidic drinks, and the carbonation, carbonic acid. Even now they have these machines where you can make your own carbonated water or your own soda at home. I don't know, it's kind of a little bit ridiculous, but
let's kill ourselves faster.
Why do you want to make your own soda at home? So actually, I think they're trying to, they don't want anybody to get Social Security. They're trying to knock us off before we hit 65.
So how about the last?
And then the dehydration. 99% of the people in this world are dehydrated. I mean, they tell you to drink 8 glasses of water a day. You really need about 16 glasses a day. You're born, you're 90% water. You die, you're 50% water. So it really doesn't make sense not to drink water. The problem, though, with drinking tap water is people don't like the taste because of all the chemicals they put into it. The other problem with drinking bottled water is now because of the plastics, which are hydrocarbons, which are made from oil, and the bottled waters sit on loading trucks, they sit on container ships. Some of the worst waters, like Avion and Fiji, come in from overseas, but those containers are not air conditioned. So the plastics actually in the bottle leach into the water, and now women and children are getting all kinds of cancers. You know, it's just become really insane the amount of, when I was a kid, kids didn't get cancer. And it's the saddest thing now to see all these commercials of kids with cancer and all these hospitals opening up for children and cancer. I mean, something is wrong, and no one's getting to the beginning of what's causing this. Everybody's just saying, yeah, come here for chemotherapy, but what about, why don't we just stop taking these things in our body? Or not giving our children these horrible things that cause cancer. But in this country, it's always like putting a Band-Aid on things rather than getting to the root cause of disease. So our water is the root.
I got to share something. Oh no, we'll go right to the demo. I think we have PH start. If not, I'll go through that quick. Just show me the next slide, and then I'll share something. I want to see if anybody else saw it like I did a couple of weeks ago. Did anyone see on the news, I don't remember his name, he's a Chinese doctor here in Los Angeles who's, I think I read he's a billionaire because he invents a lot of things in the medical industry. And so they were interviewing him, and he recently became part owner of the Lakers. Anybody see the news that I saw a couple weeks ago? No? Anyways, they interviewed him, you know, how busy he is and all these different things he's working on. And then he talked about, I was totally surprised to hear this on the news. He said, I believe we've been treating cancer wrong all these years. Not me saying that. This billionaire doctor in Los Angeles, oh, and he just bought the Los Angeles Times also. And they asked him, why would you invest in a newspaper when it's a dying thing? He goes, it's not going to be a newspaper, it's Los Angeles Media Group, which I'm citing, which is all going to be all about podcasts and online. And he talked about real news and not fake news. And so, amazing guy, I was listening to him, but he goes, I believe we've been treating cancer wrong all these years with chemo and radiation, because he says, you know, it kills the immune system. And he goes, we're working on things today to use the immune system to beat cancer and prevent from getting cancer. So I thought it was pretty fascinating hearing a doctor.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's now doing that. Okay, so we can go. David, let's go do the fun part that everybody's waiting to see. While David's heading over there, David, you could go on the other side. So they can go on the other side so they can see us and pour the waters first. And I think we're going to use Sheree's meter because it's easier, that little pen one. So what we're about to show you is the first unique property of the water. Some of the people can't see this, so we're going to show you a visual. On the screen I have a chart here that goes from, back to that chart, Sheree. So this chart right here, so it goes from 0 to 100, 200, 300, 400 in the positive range, or it goes into the negative range, 100, 2, 3, 4. So we can show you with a visual of what's called the ORP meter, oxidation reduction potential, the potential to reduce oxidation or cause oxidation. Which one do we want? Reduce or cause oxidation?
Cause.
No, cause is speeding up the aging process. Reducing is slowing down the aging process. So anything, we're going to show you a visual with this meter with all the liquids we have here today. Anything that's in the positive range on this meter shows that it's oxidizing, or when you put it in here, it's stealing electrons from the cells, which is causing free radical damage, okay? And then anything over here is donating electrons to the cells, which is slowing down that free radical damage and neutralizing them. And that's what we want in the body, is we want to slow down that process as much as possible. So David's pouring. I guess they picked an array of waters here, from Dasani to Smart Water, Propel, Pellegrino, Soda, and Fiji water. And then of course we have Kangen water.
So do we have the chart up? Where's the?
I have it
Right
up
here.
there.
Right here is it.
Oh, she's got it here too.
Who's got the
Sure.
ORP?
So here's the water piece, so this is so it measures
So
whether
basically,
something is an
yeah,
acid.
it measures oxidation or reduction. So in chemical reactions, there's either things being oxidized or reduction means reducing oxidation. So what we want to see in something that's alkaline and healthy, we want to see a negative charge. Okay, so for example, your heart has a negative charge. That's why when your heart stops, they defibrillate you. Okay? Also, your brain, when they test your brain, or you have a brain injury, or they want to see if you're living, if your brain is still alive, they'll do a cephalogram, okay, which tests the brain waves, and all your nerves and muscles work on an electrical charge from your brain to your fingers. Everything is electrical in your body. So having an electrical charge, the same as your heart and your muscles and your nervous system, is only an advantage to your body. So we're going to take this ORP meter, and we're going to start here with Sprite. And you're going to see from neutral is 0. It's at positive 427.
We should show them.
Yeah, let's, hey David, let's,
We can pass this
here.
around.
Let's,
So
how
they
about,
get
we'll
a-
have Sheree be
There we
our,
go. Yeah. So is it positive or negative? What is it?
It's possible.
What is it reading? About 421? So 421, right? So we're getting oxidized at that rate. Okay, so let's try that.
next one, so that was Sprite.
Sprite.
Pellegrino.
So Sparkling water. I
We're at
use
about 372. You could show people.
372.
It's
here
going
we
to change
go.
and fluctuate a
And
little bit.
let's show people on this side.
But again, this is
So
a
it's
positive.
plus, right?
Right.
372.
So remember, this is taking away the electrical charge from your body, from your brain, from your heart, from your nervous system.
It means it has a positive charge. So it means that, you know, it's oxidizing. We're looking for a negative charge, right? So here we go.
Next water.
Yeah, next is Propel, and this works for all sports drinks, no matter what they are, Gatorade, it's all the same. And again, we have 304. Does anybody want to read this? It may change.
290, almost.
299, positive. Then we have Dasani, which is a product of Coca-Cola. Aquafina is Pepsi. So a lot of these, Nestle, those three companies are the biggest. This is 385, going up to 389. You can read it right there. Then we go to Smart Water, which is really not the smartest thing, but it's great marketing. You know, drink this, you'll be a genius. Okay, 359. Okay. If you wanna look.
You can be like,
What is it?
357. What's the actress?
Uh,
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer.
I don't know if she still is she?
Yeah,
She still got that big contract, huh?
But an article
Well,
came out.
yeah, I'll share about the article before David moves on. So, does anybody remember what magazine it was in?
I forgot.
I think it's
So-
Vanity Fair.
There was a magazine with Jennifer Aniston talking about she owns a Kangen water machine to extend the life of her dog. So imagine what she knows about extending the life of her dog. What, I can't say this for sure, but what do you think's in the smart water bottle?
She knows.
She has one of our machines.
She knows.
She can't talk about it though, right? Because they're paying her a lot of money to be the smart water girl.
Okay, so the Fiji is 322. And
That's expensive water, right? Leave it in the water, Dave. When he's doing that.
So Fiji is great if you go to Fiji and drink it. Right?
Right from the source.
Right from the source.
okay,
But
now
it's been sitting in
we go to
plastic.
Kangen water, okay?
Okay.
And let me show up close so everybody can see this. In fact, let's have,
Tap water? Do we have tap water up
I'm
there?
gonna see right away.
Is there tap water?
Yeah. Oh,
show
can we
them
have
You
what
see
some?
that little negative sign over there? What number is it?
Which number you see it, I
Is there a number over there?
Is that minus or?
But look for the minus.
Look at the minus.
It's gonna change, but we have a minus 344. It changes as I move
So
this.
there's the negative
Well,
charge.
now it's gone up to 533.
Negative. The idea is that we want to be in
So
negative.
it's a negative 5. It keeps on changing as you move it, but it's somewhere between 400 and 500.
Let me show, yeah. So basically, you see it has a negative 500. You see? So it means it has extra electrons. It's just like an antioxidant.
You
It's
couldn't eat
super
enough fruits and
antioxidant.
vegetables.
You see,
that
like
you can get that many electrons.
cod
in one
liver
glass.
oil here. Cod liver oil here is a negative 300, right? And how much cod liver oil can we drink, right? Green tea, right here, negative 200. Vitamin C is a negative 100. But this water, and it's just water coming out of the machine, has a negative 500, 600.
And in drinking one glass of water, people don't realize you'd have to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I mean, you'd have to eat a case of blueberries or some antioxidant just to equal a couple of glasses of our water. So really, our water, it is amazing when you start to look at things like that.
This chart, you'll see
Bob has the
all the waters David and Sheree are showing you are in the positive range here, and then we jump to negative out of what you said, 5 something.
Right.
So we're past the scale here, negative 400. I've seen numerous times where I've gotten a negative 800 on a machine. So that can fluctuate, depends on the time of day, the mineral content in the water, but usually I'm seeing negative 300 to negative 800, somewhere in that range when you're testing the water from your particular machine. I left that demonstration 11 years ago just after seeing that. I understood, and this is what you take home with you, we did our job tonight. I understood living water, dead water. Antioxidizing water, like living raw foods, right? We know we're supposed to eat more raw foods, 9 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. How many of us do that? Not too many of us, right? But that's what I took away, living, dead, just like living foods and dead foods. And I knew I didn't eat enough of the living foods like 99% of the population, but guess what's easy? To drink more water to make up for this, right, that I wasn't doing. And so, drinking a gallon or more water a day, we're getting so much more free electrons than we can try and eat the fruits and vegetables. I'm not saying don't eat fruits and vegetables. We try to add more raw foods to our diet and everything we do eat and do green juicing. But just to give you an idea of that test he showed you, when I first got the meter, I tested juicing for some raw fruits and vegetables, stuck the meter in it, and I got about a negative 200. And so when do you need to drink the juice? Right away, right? Well, it has its most potent because that power is diminishing, when air is hitting it, the free radicals in the air. Same thing with the water. You want to drink it as fresh as possible, not put it in a container and, drink the same bottle for a week. So, just like that. So, living compared to dead.
Fresh is better.
Next. So, David talked a little bit about this. So, he's going to about acidosis and consuming acidic foods. You can drink and eat hamburgers and french fries and drink sodas all you want, and you may not notice a difference today, right? All these acidic things you're putting in your body, you may not feel it today. But somewhere along the line, I love how Daniel puts this one, you're going to go through the toll booth of life. And somewhere along the line, you're going to pay the toll for the things you've been putting in your body. And what it is doing is, when you're doing that, it's depleting the calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium, the alkaline buffers that we have in our body, that the body needs to balance the blood pH. And then when those are depleted to a critical level, that's when you run into trouble and serious disease, along with many other things.
You're born with about 105 years worth of alkaline minerals in your body. So an average person, and that's why in certain areas of the world, people are living to 105, because that's what you're supposed to live to.
Right. We just know someone who made it to 114.
Yeah, how do you like that?
Yeah. He just recently died, I think it was this year.
Yeah.
I met him at 109, and he looked amazing. And guess why he looked amazing? Guess what he was doing? I can't take the credit for our machine or our water, although he did add that to his life, somewhere over 100 and something. But at 109, I met him, and because he wasn't doing these things, his whole life he never ate red meat or dairy. He was a vegetarian, believed in, the steaming his vegetables only to a certain point, or I think it's below 118 degrees. And he just passed away at 114. So what David's saying is possible, when you're putting the right things in here. Next. And by the way, when I met him at 109, he probably looked like he was in his 60s, late 60s, and he was still very active, lecturing, writing his books. You can actually Google him and see his books and recipes. His name is Fernando La Paulo. He was Brazilian living in Arizona.
Yep. So let me talk about this
real quick.
Basically, the 3 acids that age you and decrease your lifespan and give you the most trouble. And as you see on this right aisle over here, all the antacids that you can buy. If you go to any CVS or Longs or Walgreens, you'll just see aisles of of stuff to stop the acid, antacids, you know, such as Pepto-Bismol, such as Alka-Seltzer, Prevacid, you know, the purple pill, everything. So basically, stress causes, you know, hydrochloric acid in your stomach. So when you have a problem with stress, which everybody does, either from being on the freeway, business, or just life, and not having enough funds, you stress, and this acid tends to cause acid reflux. A lot of people get it when they lay in bed at night, and a lot of other problems from the stomach, colitis, all types of diseases of the colon, and so number one thing that we do is we neutralize the acid in the stomach, which solves many, many problems just by itself. Second thing is when you work out, as Leoto knows, you're producing lactic acid. So athletes can train harder, you know, they don't feel the effects the next day as much because lactic acid from muscle metabolism, the body produces lactic acid and it causes cramping in muscles. And then the third thing is in older people, they have uric acid, which causes gout, arthritis, and things like that. So that's just basically a quick rundown on the acid is not good. You want things that are alkaline in your body.
Since you were talking about athletes,
Yes.
can we pick on one right now?
Yes.
Yes, we can?
Yes.
Can we pick on Leoto?
Yeah, let's.
We're going to pick on you. So how long have you been drinking? And if everyone doesn't know in the room, very famous MMA fighter. Congratulations. I think you just won your last fight.
Yes.
All right? Congratulations. And I understand you just opened a studio.
Yes.
Not too far away, and you guys are going to put a machine in there.
Yeah.
And it's for teaching kids.
Yes.
Great.
Kids and adults.
Kids and adults. Okay, incredible. I have to come over and see it this coming week if you're in town.
Boys, where
Oh,
is it?
yeah, in Lomita,
Oh.
Lomita City, yeah, Narbonne 8, right in front of the city hall.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how long have you been drinking Kangen water?
Over than 6 years.
Oh, about 6 years. What do you think you've known? Now, here's someone who's in, I mean, ultimate physical conditioning to do what he does for a living. So he didn't have any health challenges like most people, but what did you notice since you started using the water in your training and everything?
So I feel good and I train really hard every day, but next day always feel good, and I can say that I can notice the difference because sometimes I travel to other states, other country, and I don't have Kangen water, so I miss too much.
Oh, you notice a difference when you don't have the
Yes.
water when you're traveling.
Yes.
So when you say I know you train hard. I watched you train once. Wouldn't mind to get in the ring with him. You notice a difference like from before drinking like whatever water you were drinking, like maybe in the pain, like from David was talking about the lactic acid buildup.
Pain, and usually my guts don't work
Don't work as well.
well, and really sore in my body too.
See, so we get rid of the pain, faster recovery.
Fast recovery.
Right.
That's
Whatever your athletes want, right? Better hydration, faster recovery.
for sure.
Thank you much. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Next, we'll go show them another fun part of the water. We can stop the presentation right now, and I think everyone would have to pick which water they want to put in the body, right? Even with that, just the one thing we showed you. Living water, dead water. And you guys, we won't talk about, you guys don't have to take our word for it. There's many books you can read about the subject of what we're talking about. Reverse aging. David and I took Sang Wang to lunch once in Miami, Florida. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us today.
But he lived a long life, and he was so
lived-
happy to
lived a
see
long
us.
life. Maybe he would have lived longer if he would have got a Kangen water machine from us.
Probably.
Instead of one of those cheap ones he was using. Anyways, you guys see many of the books, pH Miracle, Acid Alkaline Diet. I like this one here, Alkalize or Die. Okay, that's what I call a clue. Alkalize or die. And you guys can get some of the books if you want to read up on some of the things we're talking about. Next, we're going to get to showing you the next property of the water. There we go. So while David's getting ready to use some food grade pH drops to show you the different levels of pH potential hydrogen in the water, whether something's acidic or alkaline. So the pH scale goes from 0 to 14, 7 being neutral. Anything below 7 is acidic, anything above 7 is on the alkaline side. Okay?
So we're going to start with the Sprite, and we're going to put the drops in, 10 drops in each.
Sheree will stir those up for you. Oh, you got a pH chart you're going to show. You got a, do you have a stirrer or something? Here, David, just use the back of that fork.
Oh,
Or she's got a knife if you want.
how many nights?
The kids are gonna love this one. Do they like
Basically, we
soda?
want to be here,
No?
right? So
Very
over
good.
here, all
So
animals.
once in a while, it's okay.
What's on the watch?
Yeah.
So we're testing for that.
So you can see how acidic
So
the soda and the
we're
Pellegrino
gonna be here.
and the Propel and the Dasani are so acidic. And the Smart Water is a little better, but still acidic.
You can kind of see the chart on the TV.
The
on this
Fiji
side of the room.
is fairly neutral, and you can see that the Kangen is purple, which is the most alkaline. And if we take just one capful, or just a little bit of the, do you want to do any of the other things with the waters, or should we just
well,
use?
add some Kangen water to all of them so
Yeah,
you can
so-
see how it neutralizes the acids. And
So basically, if I add the Kangen, let's start on this side. To the Fiji, it makes it
they
alkaline.
want you to shoot from over maybe here so they can see that.
Smart, it'll make alkaline. Dasani, it will make alkaline. Now, Propel, it won't even change. Pellegrino kind of goes on and off. You see, it tries, but it doesn't quite make it. And the Sprite,
We need some more, huh?
yeah, you can use a little more.
That was a good question, David. Is that 95 you're putting in there?
So some of these are so acidic that it would take about 30 bottles or 30 cups of our water to neutralize these waters. They're just so acidic.
Of 9.5 Kangen water to neutralize one soda, about 32 to 1. So who can drink
just
that much water?
Even
Nobody.
one soda will just kill your day. People go, can I have a soda? Like, have one soda maybe a month or a year, like Bob does once a
Sip.
year.
Okay, speaking of sodas, I used to love root beer. Used to drink about a 6-pack a week. Till I saw this presentation. Now I've had a 6-pack in about 11 years, so I can pat myself on the back. So I've never drank a whole root beer at one time, even when I did want to try it again, just because I love root beer. I'd have a few sips, then I'd make someone else drink it so I didn't feel so bad. No, just kidding. But I would just have a little bit of it, and I would not drink the whole thing because of what David's about to show you. Just one little capful, how it can take, you know, what he neutralized there and will destroy it and take it back to an acidic state. I also have, I thank my friend all the time for introducing me to this, because in one of my computers I have a video from CNN News where they did some, I forgot what universities, it was a few different studies they did, that if you drink, listen to this, 2 sodas a week over the course of your lifetime, just 2, how many was I drinking? Who's listening? 6. Right? I was drinking 6 a week. If you drink 2 sodas a week, you increase your chance of getting pancreatic cancer in your lifetime by 87%. Not me, that was on CNN News, which I have on one of my computers. So I thank my friend for introducing this because that totally changed what I was putting in my body.
Okay, and now what I'm going to do is just to show you the waters that we have changed. I'm going to take a capful of soda and put it in each of these waters.
So that's a very little sip, right?
bad.
Even destroy full strength 9.5 Kangen water.
Destroy the, ooh.
So, just one capful of soda just makes everything so poisonous that it's not good. So, and the things that just as strong are the Pellegrino, the Propel, the Gatorade, all of those are just as bad. I mean, if you have to drink something and you're in a fix, maybe a bottle of Fiji, but don't really drink
Anything in a glass is much better.
Remember,
You
bubbles
have
are
to drink bottled
trouble.
water.
And things with bubbles are trouble.
What about coffee and tea?
It's better made with Kangen water because it neutralizes the acids of the coffee. I've done some tests with a pH meter. Different coffee beans, I can get to about a 7 pH neutral. Some were like 6.5, slightly acidic. So you want to make it with the higher alkaline water to neutralize the acids. I still drink my cappuccinos once in a while, but I make them with Kangen water. Much better than Starbucks too.
You mentioned something about restaurants. Someone used.
Oh, I mean many restaurants, but Long Beach, that my friend Terry, who lives up here in Rancho Palos Verdes somewhere, he owns La Opera in Long Beach on Ocean and Pine approximately, and they have a Super 501 in there. They serve the water for drinking. They use the waters, which we'll show you. They use them for cleaning their produce. We actually have his ex-partner on a video on our website showing how he used the 2.5 water, the hypochloric acid water, for cleaning out they have these little wine dispensers, you know, that you can just get a couple the shots of wine, different wines. And so when he flushes the lines, he uses the hypochloric acid water, the 2.5.